Welcome to the January 13th, 2021 regular board meeting of the Chino Valley Board of Directors. The time is 6 p.m. This is President Sarah Ramos-Evinger, and I will now begin the meeting. Please be advised that this meeting will be recorded. Please silence your cell phones and devices to reduce background noise or disruption. In accordance with the California Governor's Executive Order N-29-20, guidance from the California Department of Public Health, and in an effort to combat the spread of COVID-19, the Chino Valley Fire District will hold all regular and special meetings of the Board of Directors remotely until further notice. There will be no physical meeting location. All board members and staff are joining the meeting today by teleconference. The public may join the meeting real-time in listen-only mode. Instructions and the GoToWebinar URL link for the meeting are listed on the agenda. Our agenda is posted on our website at cvifd.org. Please be advised that when you join the meeting real-time, your screen name will appear on the GoToWebinar screen. The board will accept public comment on all items on the agenda and under public communications. The public had two options for participating in public comment. The option for participating in public comment was to submit comments to the clerk of the board by email at clerk@chofire.org prior to the beginning of the meeting. Comments received by mail will be read real-time by the clerk of the board during the specified time. Emails are limited to 300 words. Please note that your name will be read into the record. The second option for participating in public comment real-time is to register prior to the meeting at GoToWebinar URL listed on this agenda. If you have registered for public comment, the clerk of the board will call on you and unmute your microphone when it is your turn to speak. Attendees may also need to unmute their own devices to be heard. When your name is called, begin the public comment by stating your name and address, optional, for the record. Comments must be limited to 5 minutes. For a recorded view of the meeting, you may access the Fire District website the day following the meeting at www.cvifd.org and click on Video Archive. At this time, I'm going to take roll call. I'm going to open session. Please answer when I call your name. Director Wynn Williams.
I'm here.
Director Harvey Luth.
Present, thank you.
Director John DeMonico.
Present.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Present.
And myself present. I would like to remind the board and staff to please mute your phone until it's time to speak to cut down on any background noise. Okay, at this time, we're going to do the flag salute. And Director Krieger, Vice President Krieger, do you mind doing the flag salute for me this evening?
Not at all. If you all please rise and place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Vice President Krieger. It's now time for the invocation, and can I please have Ruben Estrada, Fire District Chaplain? He's joining us, and he will present the invocation. Chaplain Estrada? You'll need to unmute your phone for this portion.
Venga, ayúdame.
I can hear you, Chaplain Estrada. Yes.
I've been trying to unmute it and it remains muted.
I can hear you just fine, Chaplain Estrada.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you have given us. We thank you for grace and mercy. We rejoice in being in your presence through this prayer. And Lord, we want to pray that you will bless this meeting. You will bless everyone that is attending and listening, Lord. And we just pray that everything go well, everything was planned and according to your purposes. Lord, we pray for this great nation. We pray for the United States of America, for the unrest that has been done in our cities and our streets, and we pray that we have unity and peace in our cities soon, Lord. We just pray that you take control of everything. And so, again, we pray for the first responders, the fire departments, and the whole nation, that you take care of everyone. You put your hand upon every department, and you bless, especially this meeting, that what is being done, what is being said, Lord, would be of honor to you, and will be for the well-being of these communities. We thank you, and we ask you all these things according to your will, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Chaplain Estrada.
Thank
Clerk of the
you.
board,
You're welcome.
thank you. Clerk of the board, do we have any changes to the agenda?
We have no changes to the agenda.
Okay, all right. And I just want to, before we start with the agenda, I just want to do a little follow-up on board members Williams' inquiry in December at the regular board meeting. And this is as to why he was not appointed to any liaison assignments. I need to once again remind board members that as president, I do not have authority to unilaterally make decisions that counter sanctions that have been placed on a board member by the full board. I also just want to remind the board members and also Director Williams that myself and staff, I said, would be in contact with them to placing items on the agenda. And we did send out an email promptly following the board meeting by the clerk of the board referencing our process in the board meeting. And if you gentlemen can please refer to the email that was sent out directly after our last meeting, it gives you the opportunity, if you want to place any items on the agenda, it gives you the process for doing so. And I would just like to say for the record that we did not receive a request to add any items on the agenda by board member Williams during this last, during the space between our last meeting. So, okay. And I'm also going to ask you to reserve any board comments for our board comment section on the agenda. Okay, because board comments right now, it's not appropriate at this time. So presentations and announcements. I have San Bernardino County update by County 4th District Chairman Kirk Hagman. And he will now provide an update on the San Bernardino County. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening, board members and public. And first of all, Sarah, my condolences to your loss, and wish you all the peace going forward. San Bernardino County is at the plateau of COVID. At least we hope it's at the plateau of COVID. We were expecting a rise after the holidays, and we are seeing that. In fact, all of Southern California region is seeing that. The good news, if there is some good news, is it's not growing. We hit that plateau by the end of December, and we're staying pretty steady at our test rate at 24% positivity rate. And as of Tuesday, we have 3,372 new cases. Our adjusted ICU rate, that's how many beds we have in the hospital throughout the county, is at 0%. Does not mean we don't have beds. It means that's how many ICU beds and staffing levels we have. And that's the same for all Southern California. So all the 11 counties put together, we have 0 ICU bed capacity for the region. We are testing quite a bit, and we're having, as everyone knows, we have testing sites all throughout the county. We're doing 689 per 100,000 tests a day, which is quite high for us, and which is a good thing. We're sorting out those people who have COVID to hopefully help them self-isolate and keep it spreading to their families. Being that we're less than 15% in the ICU numbers, Southern California will continue to be under the regional stay-at-home order that the governor's put on. That's ongoing until we get those numbers down. and we are asking for more and more vaccinations. I'm very proud of our efforts on the county level so far, that we are the highest in California getting the vaccinations out to people's arms. As of this morning, we're at 61% of our allotment getting out, compared to 10 and 20% of other counties. So where we kind of at, there's a whole complex tier system that we have a lot of that information on our website, how the tiers work. It's a statewide guidance, again, from the governor's office. But basically, we're completing the 1A tier, which is basically making sure all our medical professionals are vaccinated. It started off with the hospitals and nurses, and going to urgent cares areas, and the ambulance drivers and paramedics to make sure they get vaccinated. And so we're working through those. Not everyone is done yet, but we're also going through the second tier, which is kind of the next level of medical professionals, which are specialty clinics, laboratory workers, dental and health clinics, pharmaceutical staff. They're not in the emergency room and stuff like that. And so tier 2 of phase 1A, again, that's confusing. We're starting to get out to urgent care facilities and primary care physicians. They're able to receive and handle the vaccinations for their staff. And we're about 25% of all state physicians this time has been vaccinated. So we're getting it out there, but obviously we have a long way to go. And to put this in perspective, I think the numbers this morning, we put it on the website of how many vaccinations we got. We're close to 40,000 residents of San Bernardino got vaccinated, but that's out of 2 million. So we got a ways to go on this. We do expect a lot more coming in as far as vaccinations, and what we're envisioning the future of how the regular public is going to start getting it here, hopefully very soon, is providers are going through the state licensing if they are going to be able to open up to the public to give vaccinations. So it's going to be a hybrid of the county sites that we'll have, and we're going to have 5 sites for each supervisorial district to administer vaccinations, as well as so far we have close to 40 private vendors that are going to be also giving it out, providers to do. We're going to keep adding more and more of those out. So hopefully it'll be close to where people are going, and people are able to get their vaccination near where they live. We're going to, there's, if it's not on there, it should be on the next day or so, another portal on the county COVID-19 website to allow people to kind of put in their criteria to see where they fall in the tier system. And within the next week, we'll have some approximately dates where that will be effective. That will help us, we obviously want to get the elderly and those with medical conditions vaccinated first, and make sure we get out those who need it to the most. So that's what we're working on, trying to get that plan out, but we're able to go through those tier systems that are kind of confusing for those who have both age, medical health, and job requirements. Tells them what categories go in there. And the county is not the only one doing vaccinations, so I think I need to make that clear. There are different silos approach. The state has opted in to have CVS and Walgreens do the elderly, like convalescent homes, our SNFs in the county. They're a big contract out to do those directly. They're going to go to them to that, so that's CVS and Walgreens, as well as the federal government's taking care of their own, the military and National Guard, some of the VA hospitals and those type of things. So we do have that information on our website, and as our residents seek to get more information, we're going to put a lot of those different things out there so they know where to go, when to go get it, and that sort of thing. So there's a lot going on in COVID. We should have a lot more information very shortly on that. There's also a self-quarantine isolation calendar on our website to allow people to know what phase they may be in if they did come down with COVID, and what kind of reactions they should be seeing, and how to stay, isolate themselves, and how long, that sort of thing. As well as all this different stats, and like I said earlier, the number of vaccinations going out. On the state and federal levels, basically the state of California had a surplus on their budget this year. So the governor's pushing, instead of waiting for the July 1 deadline to get the budget he's taken a chunk of money from the surplus to get out to our businesses. There's a couple different sections. Safety net, which is going to be 2.4 billion, checks to low-income families, housing development, and some of the homeless programs we have going on, and for vaccination outreach. We also have another business stimulus coming out, which is going to be good for our small businesses, and 550 million in small business grants. And those details are coming out and how we get those monies out, as well as the federal government is pushing money out to those can help it too, including we should be getting 52 million for rent help for those low-income families that are not making their rent payments or mortgage payments. We may be getting that coming out very shortly. So there's a lot going on the funds part as well. But with that, Madam President, I'm happy to open up to questions.
Thank you so much, Chairman Hagman. Does any of the board have any questions? Just we need to make it brief, but does anybody have any questions?
Yes, this is Director Williams, and I do have a question. When can I get my shot? What were you going to ask?
Director Williams, he had put on there that they'll have information on the website soon about how the shot distribution will be in the report.
Okay, hang on.
Yes.
My wife has a question.
Well, this is just reserved for board members, Director Williams. So
Okay,
does any other board members have a question?
I do have one other question, please. This is a federal deal, this vaccination thing. Now, if I went over to Orange County or LA, would they say no?
My understanding is the state's plan is to have the counties take care of its own residents. So yes, they each get allotments based on the population and the classifications of the residents. As the vaccinations comes into the state, they're distributing to the counties for distribution to the residents in each county.
So you will soon we'll have San Bernardino will have sites like Orange County and LA County where we can go get our vaccinations. Is that correct?
Right now, I'm not planning to have a super site. And the reason behind that is we're the largest geographical county in the United States. I don't want to have people drive 3 hours to get a shot. So we're going to have multiple smaller sites, like I was saying, 5 in each district, as well as other providers throughout each district, private providers as well. So instead of having one big super spot to go to, like LA or Orange County, we're going to have 20 smaller spots in each region of the county to go to, so it's much more convenient for our residents.
Okay, Mr. Hagman, and thank you very much for the information and talking to me.
Absolutely.
Okay, does any other board member have a question? Thank you, Director Williams.
This is Director Luth. I just want to thank Supervisor Hagman for keeping us informed. Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be on with you. Thank you Chino Valley Fire is our diamond standard for the whole county of what you're doing for our residents, and thank you for your leadership.
And thank you again, Chairman Hagman. I know you've had quite a year, and we really appreciate everything you have done for our county. Truly, truly appreciated, and your staff as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. This evening, we regret that due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, we are not able to invite those individuals being recognized to attend an in-person meeting for a formal recognition. However, we have invited everyone being recognized and their families to join us today remotely and hear their very well-deserved recognition for their service to the Chino Valley Fire District and the communities we serve. We appreciate the dedication and commitment of each individual being recognized tonight. And this is one of my favorite areas when we get to recognize people of our district and community, et cetera. So I'm going to do the Explore Post 9/11 recognition. The Explore program is a component of the Chino Valley Fire District and a division of the Boy Scouts of America Learning for Life. The program is designed to introduce the Explorer to the fire service as a possible career through training and participation in actual situations. Explorers have the opportunity to work with the community, ride along with paramedic engine companies, complete an Explorer muster events, and attend the Inland Empire Fire Explorer Academy. The position of an Explorer is a volunteer position. They can pay many dividends in experience and training for an individual interest in a career in the fire service. Each year, certain high-achieving individuals are highlighted and recognized, and tonight we have invited the top recipients to be recognized. At this time, I'm going to have a Community Service Award. The CVFD Community Service Award goes to Ryan Grant. This award acknowledges dedication and devotion to the Chino Valley community. Congratulations, Ryan. Next, I have the 9/11 Award. The CVFD Post 9/11 Award goes to Faith Alvarez. The award exemplifies consistent and extraordinary work achievement. This is the most valuable player equivalent. The award is voted on by peers. Congratulations, Faith. The Leadership Award. The CVFD Leadership Award goes to Madeline Verdugo. This award recognizes leadership skills in an individual, and it recognizes the positive contribution to the post. This award is voted on by peers. Congratulations, Madeline. Also being recognized tonight are 4 explorers who have aged out of the program. The age requirement for the Fire Explorer program is 14 to 21 years of age. Marvin Chavez has been in the post for 3 years. Federico David Cuevas has been in the post for 6 years. Randy Conray has been in the post for 5 years. Adrienne Renteria has been in the post for 5 years. Thank you all for your commitment to the program, and we wish you very well in your future and career. In addition, Matthew Elash will be relocating and leaving his post to the district. Matthew has been in the program for 3 years and served 1 year as chief. Thank you for your service, and we wish you well in your future career. At this time, I would like to invite firefighter, paramedic, and Explorer Advisor Phil Vasquez or Charles Addy, whoever's on the phone, to say a few words about the program, the awards, and the recipients.
Hi everyone, this is firefighter paramedic Charles Addy. I believe firefighter paramedic Phil Vasquez is out on a call right now, so I'm gonna be trying to fill in for him. But first, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the board members and all the fire chiefs of the district for you guys' continued support year after year. Obviously, without you guys' support, we wouldn't be here, and the post wouldn't be what it is today. Also, I'd like to just reach out to the families of the explorers, thank them for entrusting us to be the role models and the leaders, and to trust us with the time of their very busy young adults to try to guide them and mold them as future leaders. Something else that we like to say about our Explorer post is that we do have what we consider a 100% success rate. Not that 100% of our explorers go on to be firefighters, but that they all go on to be better, stronger, more productive members of society. Unfortunately, this year, as you guys have all know, has been a very tough year for all of us. We had to cancel all in-person meetings in order to try to stop the spread. But we were able to adapt, and we switched to online meetings, and the kids or the young adults have been great and participating online in our go-to meeting platform. But other than that, I would just like to reach out again to the explorers and say congratulations to all you guys, and thanks for all your guys' hard work. Don't take anything lightly. You guys definitely deserved all the awards that you guys got. They were either voted on by your peers or by us as advisors. And we do definitely take a lot of time to consider who is best for those awards. Like I said, everyone just keep working hard, and hopefully we'll get back to normal as soon as we can, and we can get back to in-person meetings as soon as it's all over.
Medic engine.
Thank you guys for your time, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you so much. It is an amazing program, and I want to extend my gratitude to both you and to Phil and Charles for your hard work in this, you guys, because your leadership in this, we wouldn't have the program if it weren't for you guys volunteering your time. So thank you very much for this. Okay, and I want to thank the Explorers again for their service, and we do have certificates prepared, and we will be delivering those to you in the next week. Okay, and at this time, I'm going to move on to employee recognition and Training Captain Wayne Fontes. We would like to recognize Captain Wayne Fontes for his service as Suppression Training Captain for the 2019-21 rotation. During his time as training captain, one of his goals was to complete the required training with the COVID-19 considerations. The second goal was working on with two separate groups of new hires, completing their orientation and organizing their training to pass their block exams. Along with those two major goals, Wayne continued training the crews and completed all mandated wildlife, swiftwater rescue, and night drills. Thank you, Captain Fontes, for your service as training captain. We have a very nice plaque for you, and we'll be delivering it to you in the next week. Thank you again for your service. We really appreciate it, Captain Fontes. And I'll move on to Employee Service Awards. This evening, I would like to recognize 5 Service Award recipients, all of whom have 5 years service with the district. And we have firefighter paramedic Charles Addy, 5 years of service. And Charles Addy began his career with Chino Valley Fire District in 2016. He currently serves as firefighter paramedic. Thank you, Charles, for the 5 years of service to the fire district. And we have firefighter paramedic Nathan Brooks, 5 years of service. Nathan began his career with the Chino Valley Fire District in January 2016. He currently serves as firefighter paramedic. Thank you, Nathan, for your 5 years of service to the district. And firefighter paramedic Blake Lemke, 5 years. Blake began his career with the fire district in January 2016. He currently serves as firefighter paramedic. Thank you, Blake, for your 5 years of service to the fire district. And we have firefighter paramedic Miguel Lopez, 5 years of service. Miguel began his career with the fire district in January 2016. He currently serves as firefighter paramedic. Thank you, Miguel, for the 5 years of service to the fire district. And firefighter paramedic Matthew Robertson, 5 years of service. Matthew Robertson began his career with the fire district in January 2016. He currently serves as a firefighter paramedic. Thank you, Matthew, for your 5 years of service to the fire district. And although the board of directors were not able to personally recognize you for your service tonight, we would like to acknowledge each one of you and thank you for your commitment to serving the Chino Valley community. In the next week, service pins and awards will be delivered to you representing the corresponding years of service. And I can't believe it's already been 5 years for you guys. I remember when we first brought you in. And again, on behalf of the board of directors and the fire district, thank you so much for your service. The next, I'm going to do retirement recognition and announcements. Tonight, we are celebrating the retirement of 3 Chino Valley Fire District captains. Captain Harry Friedman. Captain Friedman began his public service career as a Los Angeles County lifeguard in the Venice area. Harry was hired with the Chino Valley Fire District in August 1991 as a firefighter. Harry and his wife, Lee, reside in Oxnard. Harry is a graduate of Venice High School and Cal State University, Northridge, where he received his Bachelor of Science degree in kinesiology. Harry received his paramedic training at Mount San Antonio College. He was promoted to the rank of firefighter paramedic in April 1996, followed by a promotion to engineer in June 2010 and to captain in May 2013. Harry has been the chairperson of the Wellness Fitness Committee and has served on the Safety Clothing and Equipment Committee. Harry is certified in Swiftwater Rescue 1 and 2, Rescue Systems 1, Confined Space Rescue, First Responder Operational, FRO/Hazmat, and is a California State Certified Fire Officer. In his off-duty time, Harry enjoys surfing, road cycling, swimming, mountain biking, and cooking. He is an accomplished 4-time Ironman finisher. Thank you, Captain Friedman, for the 29 years of service to the Fire District and the Chino Valley community. We wish you good health and happiness. Congratulations on your retirement. Next, I'd like to recognize Captain Bill Heitman. Captain Heitman began his career with the Chino Valley Fire District in 1981 as a firefighter. Bill and his wife, Deborah, reside in Riverside and have 2 adult children, Amy and Kevin. Bill grew up in the Chino area and attended Chaffee College and the Air Force Fire Protection Trainee courses. He was promoted to engineer in 1987 and to captain in 1989. Bill was a member of the hazardous materials team and was a shift investigator. Bill currently volunteers through his church, drives cancer patients to appointments, and assists the elderly with home repairs. Thank you, Captain Heitman, for your 39 years of service to the fire district and the Chino Valley community. We wish you good health and happiness. Congratulations, Captain Heitman, on your retirement. Next, I want to recognize Captain Keith Stroop. Captain Stroop began his career with the Chino Valley Fire District in 1991 as a firefighter paramedic. Keith and his wife Gloria reside in Chino. They have 2 boys, Joshua and Matthew. Keith is a graduate of El Toro High School, Orange Coast College, and Rancho Santiago College. He received his paramedic certification from Saddleback Saddleback College. He also served in the U.S. Air Force from 1982 to 1989 as a reserve. Keith was a member of the Hazardous Materials Team and USAR. Keith promoted to captain in 2001. Keith plans on traveling and enjoying time with the family. Thank you, Captain Stroop, for your 29 years of service to the Fire District and the Chino Valley community. We wish you good health and happiness, and congratulations on your retirement. All retirees sent very nice and heartfelt emails to all members of our organization saying goodbye and expressing their gratefulness to be a part of the Chino Valley community, and shared fond memories of their friendships, career, and service to our communities. Now, if they are still with us, I would like to invite, Chairman of the Board, Supervisor Hagman, to say a few words, followed by Mayor Pro Tem Lucio and the Chino, City of Chino, and Mayor Brian Jose, City of Chino Hills, to join us.
Thank you, Madam President. This is Kurt. I just want to say congratulations to the folks that are retiring. I can't believe how much service. Together, you have over 90 years of service to the residents of Chino Valley, and that's amazing, and into the fire service. And I know I've been around for 20 years now. It seems like we're getting old. And what we've gone through in Chino Valley, from fires to earthquakes to now COVID. And so we want to thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your service to our residents. Thank you for keeping Chino Valley Fire District the #1 around. And just really, it's been a family, and it's been a family environment for all of us to work with such a great organization, and with you 3 gentlemen. Hate to see you go, but I want to wish you the best in your retirement. And I know we sent out our certificates for you yesterday, but I wish I could be there to shake your hands and just thank you in person. But again, thank you for your service.
Okay, would any of the other dignitaries like to speak before I ask Captain Heitman to, for his turn to
Yes,
speak? Okay,
yes, this is Mayor Pro Tem Lucio from the
thank
city of
you.
Chino. I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to thank Captain Friedman, Captain Heitman, and Captain Stroop for their years of service. I believe Captain Heitman has 39 years of service, Captain Friedman 29, and Captain Stroop 29 years as well. On behalf of the residents of the city of Chino, Mayor Uola, and the rest of our council, we just wanted to say thank you for your hard work. You guys are always out there. You guys are always a part of the community, and you guys have really become a member of our city, and we really appreciate all your hard work and your dedication. And we just want to say thank you for your service. Enjoy your retirement, gentlemen, and well, I guess we won't be seeing you guys. Maybe the one that lives in Chino will still see, but just from all of us, thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Do I have any other dignitaries, clerk of the board, that are
Oh,
on the
Sarah,
call?
how quickly you forget.
Oh, I
Hi,
didn't
it's
see.
Brian.
I apologize. Thank you. Thank
Don't
you
worry
so
about it. I'm trying to
much.
figure out how to
Sorry
use the
about
system.
that.
You guys
Okay.
got high tech since I left. But yeah, hi. This is Brian Jost, Mayor of the city of Chino Hills. Just really wanted to congratulate these guys on their well-earned retirement. Harry, Bill, and Keith, I can't believe it's come to retiring. You guys have earned it. Above all, thank you to you for your service to the city of Chino Hills and to the entire fire district. And also, just as important, thank you to your spouses and your family for letting you go out and protect our residents. It's not an easy thing to know that, that you might be going out into something and there's a potential for not coming back. So we greatly appreciate the sacrifice that they have made as well. And just to think about, to Sarah, to your point about how the 5-year service awards were given out, I can't believe those guys have already had 5 years. And what a testament to Harry, Bill, and Keith as a sign of what you can strive for as 3 great captains that have made their way through the ranks over all these years and done it with distinction and honor and done it just at the highest quality to our residents. So on behalf of the city of Chino Hills, just really want to thank you 3 for all that you've done for our community. We wish you the best in your retirement. It is well earned, and always know that you have a grateful city here for you. So again, thank you very much. Everybody stay safe and have a good evening.
Thank you, Mayor Jost. And Fire Chief Tim Shackelford, can you join us before we call on Captain Heitman, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to take this opportunity on behalf of the men and women of the Chino Valley Fire District to thank Captain Friedman, Captain Heitman, and Captain Stroop for their years of service. We do appreciate it. We wish you nothing but the best in retirement, and you will be missed. You've left a legacy here. Congratulations to all.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, Captain Heitman, I hope you're still on the call. And if you can unmute yourself and please join us for a time to speak.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Can hear you just great. Yes, thank you, Captain Heitman. We can hear you just great. Thank you.
All right. When I got the call from Melania, I was very close to saying, well, no, I know the time is short, and she admonished me to stay short, which anyone who knows me is difficult. You know what? The last thing that I want to say as I'm leaving the department, it occurred to me that this night was recognizing me and Harry and Keith and the people in the Explorers and the 5-year people. And we get recognition. I got recognition for 40 years, almost 40 years, by the people that we were serving real time. And it occurred to me, the Chino Fire Department literally brought me back from the dead, the people that know what happened. And after my recent surgery a couple of months ago, which I'm recovering from, everything that I've done for the last year is a result of what you do in that room, what Kurt does where he's at. And it occurred to me very soon after my incident that public servants such as yourselves, you board members, Kurt Hagman, the city councilman from both cities. You pour yourselves into other people. You spend your time. And why does anyone do that? Why is anyone crazy enough to run for that office? If you're like me, it would be so that my children could see me at a meeting and be proud of something I did, that my friends could see me, that my parents, God rest them, would be proud of me. And I'm sure that you're motivated by the same thing. And through this COVID, I have, like you said, I've driven cancer patients to treatment because they canceled the programs because people are afraid to get into the car with sick people. I only do that because I'm still here, and I'm only still here because you are there. And I wanted to take my time to admonish all of you, to really know that, unfortunately, now you did all the work to get the position, you're in the position, and you have to sit in a room at home and administer this. But just to encourage all of you that your time counts. What you're doing counts. It saves lives. It matters. It really matters. And what you do in secret now, God will reward you openly for. This is not the end of everything. This is not it. And I just wanted to spend the time, just saying I'm at a point now where, yeah, the doctors say I can't lift over 20 pounds. So what? The church had a mentoring program. Young people nowadays, they don't know how to repair things in homes. So we go to elderly homes and they install garbage disposals, and I teach them how to do it. I only do that because I'm still here, and I'm only still here because of you. And I could run on forever, but I wanted to spend my time recognizing you, not me, not my service, but the service that you perform every month. You have these meetings, you have constant phone calls, and no one ever says thank you. Or maybe they do, but I just wanted to thank you. So I hope I kept it under 5 minutes. Melania really stressed that. And I want to thank you all. I had a fabulous career. Chief Shackelford, I think I even said in my letter, I've worked for probably 14 chiefs. And he is, I was going to say, one of the two best I ever had. I think he's probably the best chief I ever worked for. So I'm going out on a good note. And that's the conclusion of my statements.
Thank you so much, and congratulations on your retirement. And I sincerely thank you for thanking us, but I just need to say, and I'm sure others will agree with me, that most of us just followed our call from God, and we are using the special gifts that He gave us to serve our community, and we do it out of love for people, for our community. But thank you again, and congratulations on your retirement.
You're welcome, and God bless you. That was great to hear, Sarah.
Thank you. Okay,
Bye-bye.
so next goodbye, thank you. We're gonna move to public hearing. Public hearing shall be held in accordance with the following procedure. Any person wishing to speak was provided with information on the agenda for participating in the public hearing through the public comment process by contacting the clerk of the board. When addressing the board of directors, please state your name, address of area of residence, that's optional, an organization or association if you represent one, and for the record, the spelling of your last name. The public hearing is now open. Energy Efficient Lighting Retrofit Project, Resolution Number 2021-01. Purpose is for the Board of Directors to review and approve an energy efficient retrofit lighting project for the district. Deputy Chief Scott Atkinson, please present your report.
All right, thank you, President Ramos-Hevinger, and good evening to you and the Board of Directors. Before you tonight is the Energy Efficient Lighting Retrofit Project. In the continuing effort to decrease energy costs and increase energy efficiency in the district, in 2018, staff began to work with Alliance Electrical Solutions, or known as AES, on the overall energy efficiency project. When I came into support services in 2019, Staff and I continue to work with AES to define the best options for the district to save money and reduce our energy use. AES conducted a 4-month extensive energy audit and inventoried all our lighting equipment at our district facilities. AES and their parent company, Alliance Building Solutions, thoroughly reviewed the district's yearly energy usage and cost. AES focused on many options, which included solar voltaic, building system controls, heating and air conditioning, rehab, and interior and exterior lighting upgrades. In 2019, staff and AES worked together to determine the best option for the district. After a thorough review of all the possibilities, which considered both the financial and infrastructure impact, it was determined the best return on investment was to retrofit all the lighting equipment in the district to light emitting diode or LED technology. While solar was considered, it was determined that our best course of action this budget year was to focus on the roof replacements and upgrading our lighting infrastructure. As we move into the future, support services will continue to evaluate the viability of adding solar to the district facilities. Tonight, staff is proposing the retrofit of lighting equipment to LED. On average, LED bulbs use 75% less energy than a typical incandescent bulb. While initially costing more, LED bulbs last longer, are more energy efficient, and ultimately save significant money in electrical costs to the district. I'd like to provide you some insight. If we took a light and ran that one light continuous for 1 year, and let's say it's a 100-watt incandescent bulb, it would use 876 kilowatts of energy and cost $131 a year, and it would also require a light bulb change every month. In comparison, a compact fluorescent lamp matching the same 100-watt brightness would use 216 kilowatts of energy, that's a quarter of the incandescent bulb, cost $32 a year, and would require a light bulb change twice a year. And finally, what we're proposing tonight, the LED matching the 100-watt brightness would use 140 kilowatts of energy. Now that's an eighth of the incandescent bulb, costs less than $21 a year, and would require a light bulb change after 3 years. That's 736 watts of less energy and a savings of $110 for just that one bulb over a year. In 2019, the district spent $164,000 or $14,000 monthly on electrical utilities. By upgrading all the lighting in the district to LED technology, it is projected that the district will save $23,992 or 15% annually, with a predicted return of investment that would take about 7 years. Attached to the staff report is attachment A, which breaks down the savings by each location. I do want to point out to you that the maintenance facility is not on this list because it was retrofitted with LED lighting after the purchase of the building. The benefit to the environment includes increased energy efficiency and creation of less waste, since these LED bulbs will last 20 times longer. Energy service contracts are authorized by the California Government Code Section 4217.12, which provides that a public agency may enter into an energy service contract when over the lifetime of the project, it will be equal to or greater than the project cost. The Government Code 4217.12 also allows the district to forego the statutory competitive bidding requirements. So tonight, staff is recommending the award of the contract to AES for the total amount of $167,695 for the lighting retrofit project. The current 2021 budget has allocated $170,000 for this project. Staff is also requesting that the Board of Directors approve resolution number 21-01, a required document per California Government Code Section 4217.10. To complete the contract process. So with that, I'll read the recommendation. It is recommended that the Board of Directors award the project to Alliance Electrical Systems for the energy efficient retrofit lighting project in the amount of $167,695. It is also recommended that the fire chief be allowed to execute the project related contract, and that the Board of Directors approve resolution number 2021-01. I have myself and also have our Fleet and Facilities Coordinator, Steve Burns, on the line to answer any technical questions, and I can certainly answer any other questions for you about this project. The end of my report.
Thank you so much. Clerk of the Board, do we have any public comments on this agenda item?
We have no public comments on this item.
Okay, the public hearing is now closed. This is the time for the board to comment. And I will call upon you, Director Wynne Williams. Do you have any comment?
Thank you very much, Sarah. Yes, I would just like to ask Chief if this project will be pay for itself in 7 years, as he stated. Is that correct?
That is correct, Director Williams.
Okay, I think that's a good deal. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, Director Williams. Director Harvey Luth?
Thank you. Yes, we discussed this in finance some time ago, went over a number of different issues, and staff, I thought, did a wonderful job presenting this project, answering questions. We questioned things like AES's qualifications, plans to keep everyone safe in today's environment, making sure that people are safe and healthy throughout this project. And yeah, it seems like everything is well thought out. Sounds like this is a qualified vendor to do this service, and a good thing for us to do for the district. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Luth. Director John DeMonico?
Yes, I think this is a great step in the right direction, become much more energy efficient. And want to thank Scott and staff and everybody for bringing this forward. I just think this is a really good idea, and looking forward to seeing this through to completion. Thank you.
Thank you, Director DeMonico. Vice President Mike Krieger?
I think everybody else already expressed everything I would have said. So good job to staff and for kind of leading us now a new direction with this. So thank you.
Okay, and I, as Director Luth, we went over this during finance, and I want to thank everyone for their participation in this as well. At this time, I would like to request a motion. Please state your name before you present your motion.
John DeMonico, make a motion to approve.
Lynn Williams, second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second, and I will now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Wynne Williams?
I vote yes.
Director Harvey Luth?
Yes.
Director John DeMonico?
Yes.
Vice President Mike Krieger?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0. Okay. Public communications. This is the time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name and address, optional, prior to making your remarks. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Clerk of the board, did we receive any requests to speak?
We have no request to speak.
Thank you very much. Next, we're going to do the liaison to the fire district. Clerk of the board, do we have any liaison reports?
Yes, we have with us this evening Mayor Brian Joes from the city of Chino Hills.
Okay, great. Mayor Joes, thank you.
Okay, so we may have lost him. And although we have several other liaisons with us this evening, we don't have liaison reports, but if I missed someone, if you can please speak up, I'd really appreciate it. But I think that concludes our liaison reports.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Next, we have our consent calendar. And clerk of the board, did we receive any public comments on the consent calendar?
We have no public comments.
Okay. If any board member wishes to pull an item from the consent calendar for discussion, please state your name and the item number you wish to pull. Okay, being none. At this time, I would like to request a motion. I'm sorry, we'll do a roll call vote. And Director Wynne Williams.
Lynn Williams votes to approve.
Okay. Director Harvey Luth.
Yes.
Director John DeMonico.
Yes.
Vice President Mike Krieger,
Yes.
and myself. Yes. Okay. And all items were approved on the consent calendar. Old business, none. New business, bid number 2004 roofing replacement for stations 64 and 66. Resolution number 2021-04, 2021-05. Purpose is for the Board of Directors to review the bids received for bid number 20-04, awards the bids to the lowest responsible bidders, and approve budget resolutions number 2104 and 2021-05 for contingent and project costs. Deputy Chief Scott Atkinson, can you please present your report?
Good evening once again, President Ramos Evinger and board members. Tonight I'm presenting you the rebid of the roof projects. As you're aware, in 2019, it was determined the roofs at Fire Station 64 and Station 66 needed replacement. Both roofs are original construction to the fire stations. And as before I talked about in the past, we had some leaking from the rain. We just recently had around Christmas time that we had the large rainstorm, and we did have significant leaking on both those roofs. So they are both in need of replacement. In October of 2019, our Fleet and Facilities Coordinator, Steve Burns, and 2 local roofing contractors evaluated both roofs, and it has been recommended that they both need replaced. During the first quarter of 2020, Support Services developed the project manual, the scope of work required for the project. A notice was issued to invite for the bids and all services for materials that needed to be completed for the roofing replacement work. On November 18th, 2020, the Board of Directors rejected all bids for bid number 20-03, the roofing replacement for Station 64 and 66. And the Board of Directors further authorized a rebid of the roof replacement project with some changes to the bid project manual. On November 19th, 2020, the new bid 20-04 was posted with several changes made to the project manual. The most significant change was that each station was now going to be independently bid. This allowed potentially different contractors to bid on each roof replacement project. On November 19th, 2020, the rebid opened for the roofing replacement for both stations. The deadline for the submission for the bids 20-04 was December 14th at 2 p.m. And on that day, we received a total of 6 bids for each one of the stations. And those bids are listed in your staff report. Also, we conducted several job walkthroughs throughout the time on both bids, and it was determined through those job walkthroughs that all 7 skylights needed to be replaced at Station 66. So those skylights were added to addendum number 1 to the project. With the background, staff is recommending the award of 20 bids to the lowest responsible bidder. So staff is recommending that the award to bid for Station 64 go to Bishop Inc. of Orange, California in the amount of $44,888 and award the Station 66 roof project to R&R Roofing of Lake Elsinore, California for $97,640. Staff is also requesting a 10% contingency fund for any unforeseen costs associated with these repairs. If approved, staff would also be recommending 2 budget amendment resolutions for the additional funds needed. Attachment A references the total budget authority to complete both projects. So with that, I'll read the recommendation. It is recommended that the Board of Directors award bid number 20-04, Station 64 to Bishop Inc. for the amount of $44,888 and bid number 20-04, Station 66 to R&R Roofing for the amount of $97,640. It is further recommended that the fire chief be allowed to execute the project-related contracts and for the Board of Directors to approve budgets amendments number 3, resolutions number 2021-04, and budget amendment number 4, resolution number 2021-05. Also have our Fleet and Facilities Coordinator still on the line, so if any technical questions, he'd be more than happy to answer, and I certainly can answer any questions about this project. And it's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chief Atkinson. Clerk of the Board, did we receive any requests to speak on this item?
We have no request to speak on this item.
Thank you so much. This is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remark when I call your name. Director Wynne Williams.
Thank you very much. Yes, the question I have is, do roof tiles wear out, so to speak? Are we replacing the tiles in the roofing project, or will we be using some of the old tiles and replacing the underlayment?
Thank you for the question, Director Williams. For this project, it was determined that the tiles are still in good shape. So part of the project requirements will be that they'll have to clean all the tiles. If you were to go up to Station 4, you would see that just due to the position of where the tiles are at, we would see moss and other type of stuff growing on the roof. So they'll clean all that off. They'll pull off all the tiles, stack it, and then they'll tear off all the tar paper that's underneath. They'll check all the wood to make sure that it's good condition. If it needs to be replaced, they would go ahead and replace that, and then repaper and all the flashing, and then use the same tile to put back up onto the roof.
Is that the same for Station 6 also?
Station 6 is a different type of roof. It's a commercial roof, flat roof. It's the type of roof that we currently have is rock and tar. That will be taken off, and we'll be using a new technology, a thin membrane that will actually go over the roof. It's flat, so there's no tile on that roof.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much, Chief.
Okay, and thank you so much, Director Williams. Director Harvey Luth.
Yes, again, we discussed this in finance, and staff did a good job there answering our questions. It's interesting to look at this, if you will, second round of bids versus how it started. It did work out to the district's benefit, so I appreciate staff's effort to send this out for rebid, and I'm all for it. And no questions or other comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Luth. Director John DeMonico.
Yes, Harvey just answered my question. I was going to ask if he saved any money. So thank you for the answer, Harvey, before I ask the question, and I have no other questions.
Thank you, Director DeMonico. Vice President Mike Krieger.
Yeah, thank you. My only question is, what is the life expectancy on these two products?
So both one of these, the current roofs have lasted over 30 years. Our expectation is that that would be the same. Both of them do come with a warranty, but the type of technology that we'll be using, especially on Station 6, will improve the longevity of the roof. One other thing, just to make you aware that we do, to requirement to maintain both roofs, is we do a 5-year roof maintenance, something we've been starting and we've been doing on all our facilities. With that 5-year roof maintenance, they come out, they're going to certainly check the product. They're going to also check all the flashing. Anywhere that there's a penetration into the roof, we've been making sure that all that is taken care of, and that has extended the longevity of all our roofs. So our expectation is that these roofs will last, again, another 30 years.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vice President Krieger. And myself, I participated in the Finance Committee, so I don't have any other questions. Thank you so much for the work on this. It is greatly appreciated. And at this time, I would like to request a motion. Please state your name before you motion.
Director Luth, move to approve.
John DeMonico, second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. I will now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Williams.
Wynne Williams votes yes.
Okay. Director Harvey Luth.
Yes.
Director John DeMonico.
Yes.
And myself, yes. Passes 5-0.
And Mike Krieger votes yes.
I'm so sorry, Vice President Krieger. I apologize, Mike. I apologize.
It's all
for that.
good.
Now it's 5-0. Okay. So next, item number 9, resolution number 2021-06, adopting resolution of intent to transition to by-division elections and authorize to engage a national demographic corporation to provide demographic services. And we have legal counsel Jeff Ballinger. He will present. Will you please present your report for us?
Yes, Madam President and members
Thank
of
you.
the board. The item before you is, as you mentioned, resolution adopting a resolution of intent to transition to by-division elections and authorizing the fire chief to engage NDC, National Demographic Corporation, to provide demographic services. The Chino Valley Fire District currently has an at-large electoral system. This is where all members of the board are elected throughout the district. And this is in contrast to a by-division election system where the jurisdiction is divided into smaller divisions and each board candidate must reside within that division in order to be elected by the voters that are also residing within that division. The California Voting Rights Act, or CVRA, was adopted in California in 2002, and it applies to at-large election voting systems. The CVRA seeks to eliminate elections that prevent members of a protected class from electing their chosen candidates to a local agency's governing board. In recent years, a number of cities and other local agencies in California have been sued under the CVRA. These lawsuits usually demand that the defendant public agency transitions to a by-division election system. Since the CVRA was passed into law, many local agencies, including 35 special districts and as many as 142 cities, have converted or are in the process of converting to by-division elections. This isn't surprising given the cost of litigating under the CVRA. The city of Palmdale settled a CVRA lawsuit in 2015 for $4.5 million. The city of Modesto paid $3 million, and more recently, the city of Santa Monica lost a CVRA case at trial and was ordered to award the plaintiffs $22 million. And these costs do not include the costs that the local agencies paid their own attorneys and costs. These are just the amounts that are awarded to the plaintiffs. In 2016, the California legislature adopted an amendment to one of the elections code to limit the attorney's fees that a prospective plaintiff may recover if a local public agency adopts a resolution of intention to change to a by-division system of election after receiving a demand letter from a potential plaintiff. That liability can be further reduced, if not eliminated altogether, if the local agency elects to move to by-division elections even prior to receiving such a demand letter. Locally, both the cities of Chino and Chino Hills have moved to by-division elections. While the district has not received a demand letter from any prospective plaintiff under the CVRA, the board of directors, as staff and legal counsel, anticipates that such a demand could be made in the near future. In addition to the potential threat of litigation, the recent completion of the 2020 federal census provides an appropriate opportunity to initiate a transition to by-division elections. In terms of the process, in 2016, the California legislature adopted a statute that allows the district board of directors to unilaterally move to a by-division election system. The statutes authorize the board without an election to adopt a resolution or ordinance that causes the board to be elected by divisions rather than at large. This process is initiated by the board adopting a resolution of intention. In establishing the boundaries of the divisions, the board can give consideration to things such as topography, geography, cohesiveness, continuity, integrity, and compactness of territory, as well as community of interest of the divisions. Staff and legal counsel has presented to you a draft resolution of intention that outlines the board's intention to transition from at-large to division-based elections. It specifies the steps that the district will take to facilitate this transition, and it includes an estimated time frame for doing so. The following steps are what are identified in the resolution of intention. The first is to engage a demographer. Then we will conduct public outreach and explain the process to the members of the public so they know what is involved in this process. Before drawing any draft maps of the proposed division boundaries, the district board will hold at least 2 public hearings. And after drawing the first draft map, the district will publish that draft map as well as the potential sequence of elections and hold at least 2 additional public hearings. Following that process, the district board will hold 1 more public hearing and will consider the resolution that formally establishes the by-division elections. Finally, in terms of timing, the Fire Protection District law provides that the board must adjust the boundaries of elections before November 1st of the year following the year in which the federal census is taken. Because the census was taken in 2020, that means that the boundaries should be established by November 1st, 2021. With regard to the first step in the process, selection of a demographer, district staff and legal counsel have reached out to National Demographics Corporation. NDC has assisted both the cities of Chino and Chino Hills when they move to division elections and will likely be assisting those 2 cities as they redraw their divisions as a result of the 2020 census. NDC is also expected to assist the County of San Bernardino as it redraws its supervisorial districts following the census. As such, NDC will have ready access to the demographic data of the fire district. As a result, district staff and legal counsel would recommend that the district board authorize the fire chief to engage NDC as the district's demographer for this upcoming process. NDC has provided a quote, a base rate of $21,500, as well as additional costs of $2,750 for each in-person meeting and $1,250 for virtual meetings, as well as additional optional items, including a more complex or robust website that would allow for public participation and involvement in the drawing of the maps. With the contingency and the additional optional items, which we will bring back to the board for the board to decide on as part of the public education process, staff would request a budget allocation of $57,500. While staff and legal counsel don't believe that that entire amount will be used, rather than having to come back to the district board for additional amounts, that's the amount that we would request be authorized as part of this action item. Therefore, it's recommended that the board of directors review, approve, and adopt resolution number 2021-06, declaring its intention to transition from at-large to by-division elections by November 2021, and authorize the fire chief to engage National Demographic Corporation to provide demographic services in an amount not to exceed $57,500, authorizing a budget transfer from the services legal budget to services other for this amount. That concludes my presentation, and I remain available to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Clerk of the board, do we receive any requests to speak?
No request to speak on this item.
Okay, thank you so much. And this is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remarks when I call your name. Director Wynn Williams.
Thank you very much, President Evinger. The question I have is, are there very many companies that do the dividing up the demographics, so to speak? This is for Jeff, of course.
Right. Board Member Williams, there really are not. NDC is probably the leading demographer within California at this time. They've worked with many other local agencies to help them draw their maps as part of the CVRA. And so right now, I would say that they're the leading demographer. I know of 2 or 3 others, but certainly none with the experience of NDC. And certainly no others that have the demographic data at their hands the way NDC does, because of NDC's past involvement with the cities of Chino and Chino Hills.
Okay, thank you very much. One other thing I'd like to comment is the fact, I don't think you mentioned that this was the subject of our closed session, I think at the last meeting. Is that correct?
I have not been authorized to disclose what was discussed in closed session, Board Member Williams.
Oh, even though you're bringing it out now, we're not allowed to say that this was the subject of that closed session. Is that correct?
We have not, correct.
Oh, okay. So I just spilled the beans. I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize that could still be an object of closed session now that it's in open session. So I wasn't aware of that fact. I thought once it came out to open session that the closed session subject could be disclosed, so to speak. I do have some more questions, though. I'm thinking about our demographics, so to speak. We have 2 cities and I believe a minor area of the county, unless you're going to count the area that's the open range, so to speak, where there's no residents. And I'm kind of curious as to how something like that would be decided. Does Chino get 3 areas, or does Chino Hills get 3 areas, or how is something like that decided? Do you know, or do you have any idea how something like that is determined?
That's a good question. There isn't any hard and fast rule about how the districts are to be crafted. That's really what this process is all about. As I mentioned in my staff report, some things that the board will want to take into consideration is the topography, the geography, how the various territories might be cohesive or not cohesive, as well as existing communities of interest. And so when the statute talks about communities of interest, that would include things like whether one of these divisions is within one city or another. So there are a whole host of different factors that the board will be able to consider in drawing up the different divisions.
Okay, because thinking about it, it seems like one line would have to kind of go down and maybe have Chino and Chino Hills, where it could be decided from either city, say the 5th person, so to speak. I mean, it's pretty easy to take and draw lines, up and down and crosswise for the 2 cities, but then that other line there where it's going to decide the 5th person or the 5th candidate is going to be a little different. And it's just something that I was wondering how they would go about deciding something like that.
Okay. That's what this entire process is all about, is giving everybody the opportunity to share their ideas about how those lines will be drawn.
And I guess that's all I have right now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Williams. That's also why we hired a professional demographer. That's to do this because he's worked and he's done this before. Director Harvey Luth.
Thank you. This is an item that's been a concern for a while. I recall attending a seminar back when we could attend seminars, and this was the subject of one of the sessions in that seminar. And it clearly is something that could be an issue for us if we don't do something, where a suit could be brought. And you read the news reports and what's going on related to this, and it just seems, while I may or may not necessarily support the idea of divisions, this way we are in control of the process, the timelines, and I do believe at some point we will be, if we don't act, we will be forced to act. And so I appreciate the report, and I will support this item because I do believe it will be necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. Director John DeMonico.
Yes, I'm going to agree with Director Luth that this is something that we've been exposed to in a number of different conferences and seminars and those types of things, and it's been moving through California. But I just want to say that I'm really glad that we're moving forward with this on our own accord, and not being forced to do it. Because by moving forward on our own accord, we can do this and do it right. So I do support this, and those are my comments.
Okay, Vice President Mike Krieger.
I agree with everybody. This has been we've discussed this a lot. It's been a topic at every conference we've gone to for the last several years. It's ridiculous, but it's necessary to insulate us from ridiculous lawsuits. So that's all the comments I have on that for right now.
Thank you, Director Krieger, and I mirror your comments exactly to that. That was perfectly stated. So at this time, I would like to request a motion. Please state your name before your motion.
John DeMonico, motion to approve.
Mike Krieger, second.
I have a motion and a second. I will now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Wynne Williams.
I vote no.
Director Harvey Luth.
Yes.
Director John DeMonico.
Yes.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Yes.
And myself, yes. Motion passes 4-1. Okay. Next on the agenda, item number 10, Board of Directors Annual Individual Membership Review. Purpose is for the Board of Directors to review and approve individual annual memberships for board members in compliance with Board Policy 1090. Clerk of the Board, Sandra Heaney, can you please present your report?
President Ramos Evinger, before we continue with item number 10, I'd like to request that the board go back to the consent calendar. The motions didn't come across on our end, so we would just like to request a motion and a second and a revote for items 1 through 7.
Perfect. Okay. So at this time, I'd like to request a motion on the consent calendar. Please state your name before you present your motion.
Director Luth, move to approve.
John DeMonico, second.
Okay, and I will now call for a voice vote. Director Williams?
Wynne Williams votes yes.
Director Harvey Luth?
Yes.
Director John DeMonico?
Yes.
Vice President Mike Krieger?
Yes.
And myself is a yes. Okay, thank you so much, Clerk of the Board.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate the board doing that for us. Item number 10, and the Fire District Board Policy 1090 encourages participation in associations, service clubs, and fraternal organizations for board members in good standing, and provides for reimbursement of the direct and reasonable cost of said memberships upon annual Board of Director review and approval. We're bringing this item before the board for review and approval consideration as the annual review. And we have received one request for reimbursement from Director John DeMonico for 2 memberships. And the policy does allow for 2 such memberships. So it is recommended that the Board of Directors review and approve annual membership for the board, for board membership per Board Policy 1090.0. And I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Did we happen to receive any requests to speak on this item?
We have no request to speak on this item.
Thank you. And this is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remarks when I call your name. Director Wynne Williams?
I have no comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Harvey Luth?
No comments, thank you.
Director John DeMonico?
Yes, I have a comment. I would like to encourage all of our board to get involved with the service clubs and get out into the community and see what the service clubs do. I just think it's really good for not only the fire district, but us as individuals, but I think it's really good for our communities. And I think I would put the communities first over everything. So I encourage all of our board members to become involved. And those are my comments.
Thank you, Director DeMonico. Vice President Mike Krieger?
Yeah, I just have one quick question here. If I choose to join a service club, later on in the year, does this need to come back to the board at that time? Sandra, I guess it's a question for you.
Yes, the policy doesn't clearly state a specific time other than annually. So reimbursement. So what you would do would you would join the association or the membership, and then it would come back at the beginning of the year for reimbursement consideration. But the board does have the option to bring it back at the time that they join.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Can I add one comment? I believe the way our board policies are written, that you are able to join the service club and be reimbursed for it. And whether it has to come back to the board or not until next year, I don't know, but I do know that the board policies do allow you to join a club anytime during the year. There's no specific thing that says you are limited to when you can or cannot join. So it's open.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you,
John.
Director DeMonico. And I also I agree with Director DeMonico's comments about us being active in the community. I think it's very, very good for us to do that as well. So I support what he said as well about us getting more involved if we have the additional time. So at this time, I would like to request a motion. Please state your name before your motion.
Director Luth.
Mike Krieger. Sorry, Mike Krieger, second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. I will now, it's actually moved by Luth, second by Krieger. I will now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Wynn Williams.
Wynn Williams votes yes.
Director Harvey Luth.
Yes.
Director John DeMonico.
Yes.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Yes.
And myself, yes. Passes 5-0. And at this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Vice President Krieger. He's going to finish the meeting for us. Thank you.
Thank you, President Evinger. At this point, we're at Fire Chief comments. So, Chief Shackelford, do you have any comments for us tonight?
I do. Good evening, board members. Under Personnel Development Activities, Finance Director Heidi will conclude his term as President of the California Society of Municipal Finance Officers at the end of January. Steve will remain on the CSMFO Executive Board of Directors for one additional year as the past president. I am pleased to share with you that I will be serving as president of the San Bernardino County Fire Chiefs Association this year. Under organizational items of interest, I'd like to ask our HR Director, Christy Couture, to provide a recruitment update. Christy.
Good evening. Our firefighter paramedic candidates are moving along well through the background process, and we're still on target for a March start date. And we have 11 internal candidates for the captain promotional opportunity, and testing will begin in February. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. I'd like to ask Deputy Chief Dave Williams to provide a report on Emergency Communication Nurse System, or ECNS. Dave.
Thanks, Chief. Good evening, President Ramos-Evinger and board members. Tonight, I am very pleased to provide you with a short presentation on a new project that we've engaged in called Emergency Communication Nurse System. Over the last several years, we've had a significant increase in the calls to the 911 system. As a result of this increase and coupled with a decrease in the available physicians, ER overcrowding, a decrease in the ability to process patients from ambulance to hospitals, otherwise known as APOD, we recognize that the system needs a change. This requires us to develop another approach to maintaining the service that we desire for our community. So you might ask, what is or how does the ECNS work? The 911 dispatcher will receive a call and based on a set of approved questions, decide about the urgency or the acuity of the call type. The determination may indicate no ambulance is required and reroute the call to this ECNS or Emergency Communication Nurse System. A nurse will then receive the call, walk the caller through a series of questions to make sure that the caller receives the most appropriate care using the most appropriate transport method. An example of what that could look like would be an alternative drive-in service that would take a caller potential patient to a dentist or to a behavioral health location, as opposed to what currently happens. They go directly to an emergency room, thereby impacting the emergency room that's already overcrowded with not enough physicians, so on and so forth. If at any time the caller is determined to have a higher level of care that is needed, the ECNS system can redirect the call back to the 911 system and pick up just without missing a beat, and provide the service level that we require. In 2019, 8%, or approximately 15,000 of all medical calls would have been eligible to be part of the ECNS system. So it's a great program. At this time, I'd like to solidify this presentation with a short informational video, and I'll be happy to answer any questions following.
Emergency medical services is most easily recognized when emergency vehicles or helicopters are seen responding to emergency incidents. EMS is much more than a ride to the hospital. It is a system of coordinated response in emergency medical care involving multiple agencies. San Bernardino County's EMS system includes 26 exclusive operating areas over a vast region of more than 20,000 square miles. To enhance service delivery and create a more efficient system, the County of San Bernardino is prioritizing the implementation of new innovations in pre-hospital care. One example is an emergency communication nurse system, or ECNS, that is designed to triage incoming 911 calls to determine the appropriate level of care or response required. The full implementation of this system will ensure that county residents get to the right care at the right time in the right place, and free up ambulance transport and fire personnel to respond to people with critical needs. An ambulance patient offload delay occurs when patients can't be transferred timely from ambulance paramedics to emergency room staff. At hospitals across San Bernardino County, this has become a problem because of population growth, a relative shortage of physicians in the area, and the difficulties in increasing hospital capacity. It has also become a problem because of people's reflex reaction to call 911 for any medical issue, including non-emergencies. Not every 911 call needs a lights and siren response. Fortunately, an ECNS will help to make that distinction before paramedics are deployed. The ECNS nurse triage system includes trained registered nurses located in the 911 dispatch center to help guide callers to the appropriate resource. When a call comes in, the 911 dispatch operator asks a few preliminary questions. Based on the responses, the dispatcher either sends help immediately or refers the caller to an ECNS nurse. The nurse then asks more targeted questions while remaining able to choose to send an emergency response. During a normal flu season, the healthcare delivery system nearly fills to capacity. This year, the addition of COVID-19 creates the potential for a twindemic that could completely overwhelm the state and national healthcare delivery systems. In these unprecedented times, the need for an emergency communication nurse system has never been more immediate.
Thank you for that, Chris. President and board members, if you do have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any at this moment. Okay, hearing none, I'll turn it back over to President Ramos-Evinger.
All right, so Chief Shackelford, are you done as well?
I am not. I have a couple more items. Thank you. Under upcoming events, on January 18th, administration offices will be closed in observance of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. A finance committee meeting is scheduled for January 25th at 8 a.m. The ASBCSD virtual meeting will take place on January 25th at 6 p.m. And finally, I'd like to conclude my comments tonight with a message to President Ramos-Evinger. On behalf of the entire management team, I would like to offer our sincere condolences to you on the passing of your husband. Mike was kind and generous. He had a great sense of humor and was one of the most intelligent people that I ever had the pleasure of meeting. Mike will be missed by many, and we are very, very sorry for your loss. And that concludes my comments for this evening.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief. It's now time for board member comments. At this time, please provide any comments you have when I call your name. And we'll start off with Director Wynn Williams.
Thank you very much. Yes, and I too would like to express the fact that it was with great sadness that myself and my wife heard about Mr. Evinger's passing, and my condolences obviously go out to Sarah, and I'm sure this is going to be a hard experience, and hopefully it will not be too devastating in regards to how she gets along. And with that said, I really want to say congratulations to the guys that retired. I worked with all of those guys, and I wish them the best. And the guys that also got their 5-year pins and everything, I wish them all the best, and hope they have a great experience with Chino Fire and they're around for a long time. And it's been a pleasure serving with you guys tonight and all the time, and looking forward to the next 2 years. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Williams. Director Luke.
Thank you. I do just want to comment on participating in service clubs. I agree. I totally support that. I've been a member of a service club for many years. If you have the opportunity, it is a wonderful way to get involved, and it's a great way to enhance your community. So I totally support involvement in service clubs or in some kind of organizations that's doing something for the betterment of our communities. One report attended Chino Hills Council meetings, finance meetings, San Bernardino County Supervisors Board meeting, the Chino Winter Wonderland. That was just a wonderful event for what they had to work with the COVID world. They just did a tremendous job. It was very well done. Congratulations to our Explorer group. This is one of those things, again, where you're just disappointed we can't be meeting face to face and see these young men and women and recognize them face to face. Congratulations to our training captain, our service awards, our retirements. Appreciate what Bill had to say, but really it's the efforts of people like Bill, what they're doing every day, that's just what's outstanding. I think about and appreciate the effort at the firefighter, paramedics, our staff, our administrative people. Everybody's still doing the work they need to do, and for the people on the floor, just the call volume and what they have to deal with. The efforts of the district to react. I'm just so proud of this district going out, securing an ambulance to try and help deal with things. The ECNS, the district's involvement in that, being proactive and actively engaged in that, just again, just a tribute, I think, to the leadership and to this district. So appreciate everybody's efforts on that. And I also want to give my condolences to Director Sarah Ramos Evinger, to her family, to Mike's extended family, his friends. I like to consider myself one of his friends, and he is deeply going to be missed. And that will end my comments.
Thank you, Director Luke. Director DeMonico.
Yes, I also attended the Board of Supervisors meeting, the Chino Council meeting, and IEOA board meetings. And I did want to give one little thing about San Bernardino County and Supervisor Kurt Hagman. I think this may be unprecedented, but he was elected for another 2-year term as chairman of the board, which will give him 4 years on the board. So we will have a 4th District Supervisor chairman of the board for 4 years. I think that's a good thing, and I do appreciate his comments on the update on COVID and all that. I do want to give recognition to all our recipients tonight for Captain Wayne Fontes in training. That's not an easy job, and it's actually a different way of life for a while, because you come off shift and you go into a 40-hour week, and it makes things different not only at work but at home. The Employee Service Awards, congratulations, guys. Charles, Nathan, Blake, Miguel, and Matthew for your 5 years, 25 to go, and then you'll catch up with the guys with the next ones, the retirement recognitions. Captain Harry Friedman, Captain William Heitman, and Captain Keith Stroop. You earned it, enjoyed it. I know it for a long time it didn't seem like it would get here, and then you turned around and it was here, and it was time to retire. It's a It's well earned and well deserved. Enjoy your retirement, and I hope you have a very, very long retirement. And Explorer Post 9/11 recognition to the guys. The Explorer Post does a lot. Appreciate the involvement of our district with the Explorers. A lot of this is voluntary, and there's no extra recognition for it, but there's a lot to be learned and a lot of value to the program and to the youth of our community who get involved in the Explorer program. I too want to give my condolences to Sarah. I am heartbroken, and my family and I are both heartbroken. We're devastated. We're close to you, and if there's anything you need or we can do, please let us know. And we love your family very much. That includes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Director DeMonico. I'll go ahead and make my comments now as well. I met with the fire chief earlier in the month. Attended the City of Chino Hills meeting. They're back up and running. The school board is not met yet. They don't meet for another 2 weeks, and then they'll be back up and running. Tonight's agenda was just filled with great works by volunteers, by staff, by people that dedicated their entire careers working in our community. And it's just extraordinary to see how much people give to their community. I couldn't be happier and prouder. Wish our retirees the absolute best. They deserve it. I'm jealous more than anything else, but they absolutely deserve it. I'm very excited about the ECNS system. Director DeMonico mentioned Kurt Hagman being reelected as chairman of the Board of Supervisors. Kurt's on the board of the Inland Healthcare IEHP as well, and I think that he is instrumental in making sure that the COVID response has happened and that programs like this are moving forward with the technology that to allow it all and the collaborative effort. So I really appreciate his leadership along the way. Really happy for our staff that steps up as well. Steve with the CSMFO and Chief Shackelford for stepping up to be president of the Fire Chiefs Association. That's absolutely tremendous. So very, very pleased with the leadership that we have here. My condolences as well to Sarah and to her family. I've already shared that privately with you. And absolutely heartbroken for you. Mike was a fantastic man. And with that, I'll conclude my comments and ask President Ramos for her comments.
Thank you so much, Vice President Krieger. Before I start my comments, I do have to, as my role as president, I just need to make one statement to the board, just a friendly reminder that all closed session items, everything we discussed in closed session, whether they make it to agenda or not, they are confidential. So if I can please make that statement and remind everybody just about that one thing. Next, I too attended the Chino Winter Wonderland, and I thought it was absolutely fabulous. It gave me so much joy to see all the people. I love people, and I felt that I was able to interact and just see so many community members with the drive-through, the way it was handled. I thought it was, not to be mean, we've been doing it the other way for years, but I just felt that this was just so amazing. I really, truly enjoyed the way it was done this year. And also attended a Chino Hills Council meeting, Finance Committee meeting. Of course, I had my agenda review, a Chino Council meeting, a Carbon Canyon Fire Safe Council meeting. Congratulations to our retirees, our explorers, the training captain, and I truly want to thank Chairman Hagman and how much we appreciate everything he has done for our county during this time. And I wasn't prepared. I'm just going to be brief. Maybe next meeting I'll be able to speak a little more. It's still very difficult for me. The loss of my husband is still very devastating, and he just loved and supported this fire district so much. The people, he enjoyed all the friendships that he made throughout the years with frontline personnel, employees, the fire chief, management, the board members. He just really, really loved and enjoyed the time with you guys, discussions. He admired the dedication that each one of you had, and he was so proud that I was able to serve for such a great community and the fire district. And I want to thank everyone for your support. My children and I are we're struggling and not sure how I will recover, but I'm putting all my trust in God at this time, and just allowing time to heal. But thank you again. You guys have just been such a tremendous support to my family and I. And I'm going to say it, I love you guys. I love this community, and I so appreciate each one of you individually, and just everything that you guys have and are doing for me during this time. So I'm going to conclude my comments with that. Thank you.
Thank you, President Evinger. We'll be adjourning now tonight in the memory and honor of Mike Evinger, husband to President Sarah Ramos Evinger. Mike sadly passed away last week on January 8th. Many of us knew Mike, spent time with him, and especially enjoyed his wit and humor. He will be greatly missed. All of our thoughts and prayers are with you, Sarah, and your kids, George, Hannah, and Scott. And with that, we will conclude the meeting to the regular meeting of the Board of Directors for the Fire District to be held on Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. Everybody be safe, please.